Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream and welcome back to all your latest Chelsea transfer news. Welcome to the start of the Premier League season and, of course, welcome to the home of the world champions. Big up to everyone that's already locked in. Make sure you're smashing up the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and, of course, get involved in the chat, guys. As always, there is plenty to dive into in today's show. All the latest on the future of Josh Acheampong, with Manchester City reportedly interested in signing a young defender, and Bournemouth believed to be pushing hard to try and get a deal done before the end of the window. We've got all the latest on the search for a new centre-back, the latest on Bayern Munich and Christopher Nkunku. We've also got the latest on Nicholas Jackson, the latest on Carney Chukwuemeka, and, of course, the latest on that man, Xavi Simons. So loads to dive into, chat. Loads and loads to dive into. Packed show. And yeah, before we get the show on the road, before we say hello to a few of you lovely people, let's just quickly remind you guys, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off, whether it's the home kit, the away kit, the third kit when it drops. Make sure you're looking fresh for the upcoming season, guys. Great quality, affordable prices. Check it out now. Use code BLUEBROTHER, 20% off. Link is in the description, guys. You don't want to miss out on this. But that's enough about that. Let's say hello to a few of you lot in the chat. Let's see what you're saying, and then we will dive into the show. Bro, I've never heard of that account before. I'm sick and tired of Xavi. Please just let him go. We won't buy him this summer. Look, who knows? I think we will, but let's wait and see. I'm just bored of hearing the same news over Simons. Chelsea, it's not about Chelsea messing around. Nkunku needs to go, and that deal is not done yet. Back the gaffer, he has spoken. Go get him what he needs. I agree, bro. I absolutely agree. We should keep Josh. Look, I wouldn't be against Josh going on loan, personally. If he stays, then he has to play a decent amount of games. Otherwise, he's not going to develop. I think a loan could be the best situation all round, personally. But look, let's wait and see. Yes, big up, brother. Would you be happy if no one else comes in? No, because we need another option on that left-hand side. So no, I wouldn't be happy if no one else comes in. Yes, big up. Hope you're doing well, David. We don't have to move Josh on to get a new centre-back. That simply isn't true. Bro, Jackson's suspended. It's the last ban from his red card against Newcastle last season, so he won't be on the squad. We need a centre-back badly. Even Maresca's asking for one. Yeah, I agree. But again, the market's not the best. So let's see what Chelsea decide to try and do on this one. Let's see what we decide to try and do. Xavi told Bayern he wants to go to Chelsea. Yeah. And yes, big up to you as well, brother. Let's start with the Josh Acheampong news then, because there was a flurry of updates late yesterday evening in regards to Josh Acheampong. First, we had from Rahman Osman, good journalist, in regards to Chelsea. And he put out that Bournemouth need another central defender and have asked Chelsea about Josh Acheampong. Chelsea say he's not for sale, but they could do a loan. Bournemouth, though, want to buy. So, again, I think it was reported earlier this summer that Bournemouth did take a look at Josh Acheampong. They tried to sign him on loan, and apparently that offer was knocked back earlier this summer. The offer was knocked back, chat. That's what's reported. And this article states that, and it's an exclusive, Bournemouth are scrambling to rebuild their defence and have made two desperate moves to land Chelsea star Josh Acheampong. The Cherries are reeling after losing three defenders in a summer clear-out that's seen Zabarnyi, Huijsen, and Milos Kerkez all leave. It's left boss Andoni Iraola facing a full-blown defensive crisis just weeks before the new season. And the Spaniard has made versatile Chelsea youngster Acheampong his top priority. The Bournemouth have already splashed out 34 million on Bafade Diakite from Lille, but insiders say they're desperate to get a deal for Acheampong over the line. However, Chelsea are playing hardball and will only sanction a loan for the highly rated 19-year-old, who they see as the next Levi Colwill. Acheampong's ability to play at both centre-back and full-back has made him one of the most sought-after defensive prospects in England, with Blues bosses keen to repeat the Colwill formula, loaning him out for experience before integrating him as a first-team regular. Bournemouth want a permanent deal and are hoping to twist Chelsea's arm for a sale before the window closes. A club source told Sun Sport, "We have held talks and made our intentions very clear, but it's a bit difficult at the moment because Chelsea just want to do a dry loan because obviously they don't want to lose him. Hopefully their stance might change in the coming weeks as we get closer to the end of the transfer window." So yeah, Bournemouth really want Josh Acheampong. They have made another attempt to try and sign the young defender. Now, Acheampong, I think, is at a little bit of a crossroads because, rightly or wrongly, his camp will probably see another defender coming in. I'm not going to be selling Trevor. So when you look at the Acheampong situation, highly rated at the club, talented boy. However, I personally do not see him getting enough. I don't see him getting enough minutes next season to develop at the rate that we need him to develop at, or that he would like to develop at. I don't think it makes sense in any shape or form to sell him on a permanent deal. However, if another centre-back comes in, then personally, I feel that a loan option would be best. Because the next summer, I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea look to move on a Tosin or a Chalobah next summer, summer 26, and then Acheampong will then move up the pecking order after hopefully what would be a successful loan season. Trevor's not going this summer. Trevor's not leaving this summer. But that just isn't the case. That just isn't the case. I'm not sure if people are just kind of inventing that scenario. But that definitely isn't the case, chat. 100% isn't the case. So what's this? I'm not seeing anything. Oh, for fuck's sake. And this is what I'm fucking talking about. Guys, get me a fucking centre-back. Tosin is set to miss Chelsea versus Crystal Palace through injury. Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. How brilliant is that? I mean, seriously. What did I say? Knew someone was going to get injured. Obviously, we don't know how. Tell me now how we don't need another centre-back, those that don't think we need one. Obviously, we don't know how serious this injury is or what the extent of it is, but Tosin will not be playing tomorrow. Therefore, that's going to be what? Trevor Chalobah and Josh Acheampong, because there's no Badiashile. Fofana is unlikely to be fit to play. And then you've got Tosin, Colwell's injured, and then you've got Chalobah. So we're down to 2 fit centre-backs. You're down to 2 fit centre-backs for the game against Crystal Palace. 2 fit centre-backs. Bro, I wouldn't be sticking Hato in at centre-back. Wouldn't be sticking Hato in at centre-back. No chance. Again, who knows how long... I wouldn't have thought this Tosin injury is anything major. But again, we simply don't know, chat. We simply don't know how major this Tosin injury is. I mean, it could just be he's out for a week. It could be that he's just out for a week. Who knows? I mean, it was too good to be true, wasn't it? You know, one day before the season kicks off. And now we're without both of our central centre-backs. Both gone. How many more red flags do we need that we need to go and sign a centre-back? How many more do we need? How many more do we need? Mate, I'm telling you, the Club World Cup, the short break, the extended season at the back end of the last campaign, this won't be the last of these injuries we pick up at the start of the season. I would expect a few more players to pick up injuries at the start of the season. I really would. This is not going to be something that's that's going to suddenly sort itself out. Bro, who keeps mentioning Keep Vega? It's not happening. He's done. Finito. There's no comeback. He wants to leave. He wants to leave. Bro, he definitely isn't because he played left back the entirety of last season. Farioli didn't think he was good enough to be a centre back, so made him a left back. He said, bro, we're not playing 5 at the back. Yeah, for sure. And I agree. Any plans to sign Garnacho should instantly be cancelled. Instantly be cancelled. You know, instantly should be cancelling a Garnacho deal if it means that a centre back's more important than Garnacho. 100%. Get me Simons and a centre back. If we can't get Simons, Garnacho, and a centre back, go and sacrifice the Garnacho deal. Very, very simple. Yes, agreed, bro. Absolutely agree on that one. Centre back, then Simons, then Garnacho. You know, that's the order of priority right now. Yes, we do also need another option on that left-hand side, but the most important thing right now, chat, is bro, just because Simons played a friendly today, it doesn't mean the deal's off. I don't know why people do this. Player plays in pre-season friendly. Oh my God, that means deal is off. The deal's not off. The deal isn't off. Bro, respectfully, you're completely misunderstanding. Cucurella is not going to start at centre-back in a back 2. Cucurella is not going to play as a centre-back when we're out of possession. He's going to play as part of a back 2. Yeah? No. Come on, guys. Let's engage. Let's engage our brains here. Yes, not as a starting centre-back. What people don't understand, right? Out of possession, we play a back 4. In possession, it switches to a 3. You're not going to start Cucurella as a centre-back. You're not going to start Reece James as a centre-back. The SDs need to act fast. Yeah, we need to act fast. Tosin's been good. Bro, Cucurella is not a centre-back. When are we going to stop doing this? Cucurella is not a centre-back. Yes, if we invert from the right-hand side, when we're in possession, he tuck in as a left-sided centre-back. You're not going to start Cucurella as a centre-back in a back four. We're simply not going to do that. Tosin felt a small issue in training, and the club do not want to take any risks with him. I mean, a small issue at Chelsea, who knows what that is? If he's back for the West Ham game, then it's not a total disaster. If he's back for West Ham, it's not a total disaster. If it's just one missed game, then fair enough. But it's not exactly the best news on the eve of the season. It's not the best news on the eve of the season. Acheampong will obviously come in. Acheampong will definitely come in. Yeah, this is it here. Exclusive in the Times. Let me just bring it up now. Exclusive. Tosin set to miss Chelsea's clash with Palace, purely precautionary after feeling a small issue in training. And with Colwell out long term, Chelsea don't want to take any risks. So it doesn't sound like this is a serious issue. And it sounds like Tosin should be back for the game against West Ham. However, this should be serving as a timely reminder, chat. A timely reminder that we are going to need another defender desperately, because the chances of Tosin and Chalobah staying fit all season, they're slim to none. Slim to none, as we have just found out now. As we've just found out now. Slim to none. Slim to none. I mean, I don't know how many more times, how many more red flags we need in order for another centre-back to come in. Bro, Vega's done. Vega's done. Absolutely no chance of he coming back. And even if he did come back, he's not playing tomorrow anyway. He's done no pre-season. He's probably training on his own. When was the last time he played? Bro, we're not using Disasi. Disasi is not part of the squad. Yeah, I don't know why people keep mentioning Vega, and why are people bringing up Disasi? I mean, what are we doing here? What on earth are we doing here, chat? What are we doing here? No. The title hopes haven't crumbled. This is the tricky situation. This is the tricky situation. Obviously, Gurhi's the first choice. After that, I don't really know. After that, I don't really know. Yeah, look, if Fofana could stay fit, if Badiashile could stay fit, then we wouldn't be in as big an issue. We wouldn't be in as big an issue if those guys could stay fit. However, those guys can't stay fit, so it's further compounded the need for a new centre-back desperately. Not confirmed. Not confirmed. They've held some talks, but it's not gone any further than that. They've held talks, but it's not gone any further than that. By the way, guys, keep smashing up the like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do, so please do smash that like button. And, of course, subscribe if you are new round here as well. We're on 48 likes, over 100 in the building. Make sure you're smashing up the like button, chat. It really helps me out, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. So make sure you do, chat. Bro, no, that's not been said. that hasn't been said. Again, the amount of money we'd have to spend to get either of those two is massive. I mean, who knows? Who knows right now? I mean, I don't really care right now about buying players back or not. Again, not true. That's just literally not true. Literally not true. I don't understand why there's no movement on buying a centre-back. Bro, it's been a week. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Bro, the season's... We haven't even kicked a ball, and we've got people saying the season is over. What? Jesus Christ. The season's over, is it? We haven't even kicked a ball, chat. Gurhey to Liverpool doesn't make sense. Yeah, look, and I think maybe that's why that deal's not quite happened yet, because I think Gurhey maybe is a little bit unsure on that. Maybe he's a little bit unsure on that. Maybe he's a little bit unsure on that. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it, chap? It doesn't really make an awful lot of sense, that one. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Play Cucurella or play Reece James at centre-back. Nice, fine. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, seriously. Seriously. Bro, we don't need attackers. We don't need any attackers. Attackers is the last thing we should be thinking about. I mean, Konate was poor yesterday. So yeah, look, this just further emphasizes, chat. This further emphasizes our need for another defender. Again, Maresca has stated, and this is from Fabrizio. The message from Maresca is he wants a centre-back. Let's see what Chelsea decides to do. Not in any active talks over a new centre-back, but there are 2 weeks left. At the moment, it's really quiet. They are happy with the squad they have, and they being the club and the sporting directors. Maresca's made it very clear he's not happy with the current options. And the fact that he's gone public now means that any nonsense saying that he is happy with the current options is bullshit. And we know it is because he said so publicly. And if we don't go in for another centre-back, then unfortunately, chat, we are setting ourselves up for failure. We are absolutely setting ourselves up for failure if we do not go in for another centre-back. There's still 2 weeks left. There's still 2 weeks left. Just because you're not in talks over something right now doesn't mean you won't be in talks, over the next few days or in a week's time. Do we have a fit No, we don't have a fit central centre-back. No, because the two players that play central centre-back were Colwell and Tosin. Colwell's out for pretty much the whole season, and Tosin is going to miss the Crystal Palace game. So, yeah. Bro, if you're happy to go into the season with no Colwell, Fofana and Badiashile who can't stay fit, Tosin and Chalobah, then be my guest and don't moan when it's a problem. Don't moan when it's a problem. Yeah, it's always a worry when you hear small issue at Chelsea because nothing ever really seems to be nothing seems to be a small issue, does it? Nothing ever seems to be a small issue. Fofana is good enough, but the problem is he can't stay fit. He cannot stay fit. So once again, Maresca has made things very clear. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Bro, Anselmino is not getting a chance. He's not. You know, he's not really good enough either. He's not really good enough right now. He's barely kicked a ball. Barely kicked a ball for us. He's not going to suddenly come into the fold. It'll be Trev and Josh playing tomorrow. And Fofana might be on the bench if he's fit. Fofana might be on the bench if he's fit. That's it. Bro, stop saying we can play Reece James at centre-back. We're not playing Reece James at centre-back. Do you honestly think we're going to start Reece James in a back four at centre-back? Come on, bro. Let's engage our brains here. Yeah, absolutely that is. Absolutely that is. Of course, the title chances aren't already over or anything. But yeah, playing this people out of position nonsense and we just stop saying that. Well, no, we'll play at the back four and it'll be a back three in possession like it always is. We'll play at the back four and it'll be a back three like it always is in possession. Guys, it's 130 in the building. Keep smashing that like button. We need to get this to 100 likes as quickly as possible, chat. So make sure you are smashing that like button. Let's get these likes up, people. Let's get these likes up. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously that's not going to be ideal, but we're going to have to try and deal with it. You know, we're going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to do our best. Yeah, bro, it's free to dream. It's free to dream. That's all I'll say. It's free to dream. So yeah, let's enjoy. Let's enjoy. If people want to dream, it's free. That's the best thing about it. Bro, I agree. This is Fofana's fourth season now. If he can't stay fit this season or he misses a large part of the campaign again, then we have to look to move him on. We have to look to move him on. We really do. Bro, that's a ridiculous comparison. That is totally different. Reece James isn't a centre-back. Yeah, I think it's clear. Even before the Colwell injury, we wanted a centre-back. We wanted a goalkeeper. We haven't got a goalkeeper. And as of yet, we haven't got a centre-back. So as much as the summer has been good, and we've brought in some good players, there are still two glaringly obvious positions that haven't been addressed. The thing is, if we can't get Gurhi, I don't really know what the market's saying in terms of decent options for us to go for in a central centre-back position. You know, it's not ideal. I don't know, to be honest. I really don't know, chat. I really don't know what the situation's going to be. I don't know what the situation's going to be, but we will have to wait and see. Hato, I'd be very surprised if Jarell Hato started at centre-back tomorrow. Very, very surprised if we saw Hato. It will be Acheampong and Chalobah. I think that much is obvious, chat. It will be Acheampong and Chalobah, and then we're going to move from there. It'll be Acheampong and Chalobah. Well, yeah, I mean, toss in probably will come back next week, although we don't know that for certain, guys. We don't know that for certain. Yeah, let's start Liam Delap at centre-back. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, why not? Yeah, that's what it'll be in possession when Cucurella inverts into midfield. That's what it will be in possession. I mean, look, I think he can play centre back, and he's shown that he can. But I do agree. I personally think he's a better fullback. I think he's a better fullback personally. That's just my opinion on it. I think he's a better fullback than he is anything else. Oh yeah, I do think he's a better fullback, bro. We can talk all we want about Antonio Silva. I don't see it. I personally don't see it. Antonio Silva happening. I don't see a move for Antonio Silva happening at all, guys. So that's Maresca's message on a new centre-back. I mean, Josh against Mateta is a bit of a mismatch. We have to be straight up on that. Josh against Mateta is a bit of a mismatch. So, just before we move on from centre-backs chat, no, bro, Disasi's done and dusted. This is according to The Guardian. Chelsea feel they have internal solutions at centre-back and would only move if someone becomes available to them. There is Chalobah, Fofana, Badiashile, Tosin, Acheampong, Ansel Mina, and potentially Hato. Maresca, though, feels his squad does not have anyone as proficient as Colwell at making his tactics work. And this is the key thing that so many people are failing to understand. It's not about not having enough centre-backs. It's not about a lack of centre-backs. It's about a lack of centre-backs who can play the role that Colwell plays and can play it to anywhere near the standard that Colwell can play it to. That is the problem. You know, it's not about the lack of numbers, but it's about the quality of the numbers. And it's also about the fact, as I said, that Maresca feels none of the options in the squad can play the role of central centre-back anywhere near to the level that Levi Colwell has. And the central centre-back is so important in Enzo Maresca's system. It's so important. You know, it's so important. You know, he even said so himself in more quotes last night. Let me find the quotes. So he was asked whether Fofana and Badiashile were solutions to Colwell's absence. And this was his answer. Maresca on whether Fofana/Badiashile are internal solutions. Wes played 45 minutes in that position. It was the first half against Bournemouth away. Probably one of the worst halves since we started. Benoit playing in the middle, the Conference League final. First half, we were losing 1-0. We changed with Levi and won 4-1. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah, and this is the thing, right? The manager needs to be backed, but you need to bring someone in that makes sense. Someone that's going to actually make a difference to the squad. Because right now, the market's not great. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you look at bringing a centre-back in on loan, potentially. Is that a better thing to do? Maybe you look to bring a centre-back in on loan. I mean, personally, I feel that potentially could be a better idea. Yeah, but we all know that anyway. We all know that. He's not even indirectly saying it. He's saying it, that none of the options we've got can play the role to the quality that is required. That's what we're saying here, guys. That's exactly what we're saying here. Yeah, Chalobah and Josh will start tomorrow. I mean, Gusto was part of the reason, but Badiashile also struggled as well. Look, I just love that we've got a manager that's honest, says his feelings, says it how it is, and then his feelings are out there in public. And then if the club decide not to act or we get briefs saying that he's happy, We know that they're just a load of nonsense. We know that they are just a load of nonsense, guys. A load of nonsense and a load of absolute waffle. A load of absolute waffle, chat. That's what we're looking at. A load of absolute waffle on that. Yeah, sure, he was better in the second half, but in the first half, he was poor. And this is the point that he's making. Yeah, I mean, look, to a certain degree, yes, obviously it depends how the season goes and it depends how all these things pan out. But yeah, obviously, it's not looking ideal, chat. It's not looking ideal. We have to be straight up and honest about this one. Vega did play in midfield in that game. So yeah, that's the situation with the central centre-backs. Louder for those at the back. It's not about a lack of numbers. It's about it's about not having any players who can play central centre-back anywhere near to the level that Levi Colwill can. So we need to find a solution because the solutions internally are not solutioning. So we're going to have to go into the market and try and find someone. We need to enter the market and try and find someone, chat. And that's easier said than done. I wonder whether after this game tomorrow, we might try and step up our pursuit of, I don't know, our pursuit of Mark Gurhey. Maybe we'll look to go and do that. Step up the pursuit of Gurhey, chat. That might be an idea. Maybe we go and do that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know for certain. I don't know for certain, chat. Yeah, maybe we win game 6-5 now. It doesn't matter. Let's just try and outscore the opposition in every game. Maybe that's the route that we're going to need to go down. Well, Disasi and Vega will go. Disasi and Vega will leave. And there's maybe a chance that Josh Acheampong leaves, potentially. I don't think we'll sell Acheampong permanently. But there's also interest from Manchester City. Manchester City are interested in signing Acheampong, but Chelsea insist not for sale. Bournemouth loan inquiry also rejected, while Newcastle are monitoring the situation. So, yeah. Those are the situations that we're in, chat. You know, surprise interest from Manchester City. It's not a surprise. Bournemouth loan inquiry rejected, whilst Newcastle are monitoring the situation. It's not a surprise at all, chat. Not a surprise at all that these sorts of clubs are sniffing around Josh because he is a top quality talent and he should be given opportunities. But if Chelsea can't give him the opportunities next season, it's no point wasting him. It's no point wasting him on the bench. Again, that's not true, though. Gurhey can play central centre-back. He can play central centre-back. It depends. It depends. If the right player is available on a permanent, let's go and do it. But if they're not, and a loan deal seems to be better, then let's go and do a loan deal. But yeah, look, that's the latest on the centre-back situation. And I think the Josh Acheampong situation is 100% going to be one to watch going forwards. It is absolutely going to be one to watch going forwards. And one thing that's not good, chat, is the amount of likes. 66 likes. We haven't even reached 100 likes. What is going on here, guys? This is really poor. I know the City game's on and the numbers aren't very good today. The numbers aren't very good. But yeah, please do smash the like button. Run it up, run it up. And keep subscribing if you're new as well. Let's get this to 100 likes. Come on, chat. Bro, we can get rid of Vega and Disasi. I don't think one of the current group needs to leave. I mean, an older defender on loan is a possibility. I mean, I wonder if the loan market might actually serve us better in terms of solving this particular issue. Maybe the loan market works better, chat. Maybe the loan market works better. I don't think we'll be recalling Mamadou Sarr. No, not right now. Not right now. But if another centre-back comes in, I could maybe see Josh, a late loan move being sanctioned for Josh in the window. I could definitely see that happening. Look, I don't know who I'd bring in on a season loan. I don't know who I would bring in on a season loan, chap. I'm really unsure. Yeah, and this is it. People don't realise we're playing Champions League as well as other things. You know, Christensen, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I don't think the club see him on that level. I don't think the club view him as that. So it's going to be interesting, guys. It is going to be very interesting what we decide to do. Very interesting to see what we decide to do. What else is going on here? We were happy with the options, and we don't want to bring someone in. And I think that was pretty much the gist of it. Was it not? I could be wrong. So that's the latest on Acheampong. Let's move away from Acheampong and let's talk about the forward situation. Let's talk about the forward situation, chat. Let's talk about the forward situation because this is the latest from Xavi Simons at Sky. Chelsea will only sign Alejandro Garnacho and Xavi Simons if at least 2 first-team forwards leave before the window closes. Christopher Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson and Tyreek George could all move, and incomings are exit-dependent. Now, we know the incomings are exit-dependent. I'll be real, guys. I see a situation where Nkunku goes, but I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if Jackson didn't leave. And maybe we end up with, we don't get Simons, and we end up with Jackson staying and Garnacho signs instead. I personally don't think that can be ruled out. I personally don't think that can be ruled out. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, chat? This is it here. Let me bring it up on the screen now. Maresca said that Jackson is free to leave before the end of the window. So we'll see what happens. So he's free to leave, but he hasn't said he will leave. He said he's free to leave, and we'll see what happens in the rest of the window. Potentially in regards to Vega and, in terms of Vega and Disasi and whatnot, yes. But I don't know if one of the current crop have to leave. Bro, he's only gone if offers come in. He's only gone if offers come in, you know. And right now, there are no offers on the table for Jackson. There are no offers on the table for Nico Jackson right now. So this is what Sky are reporting, Xavi Simons. Can we read that okay there? Yeah, we can. So latest from Sky Sports' Xavi Simons. Chelsea will only sign Alejandro Garnacho and Xavi Simons if at least 2 first-team forwards leave. We know that. Christopher Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson and Tyreek George could all move, and incomings are exit-dependent. If all 3 players leave, Chelsea would be in a strong position to sign both Garnacho and Simons. If only one of those 3 players leaves, Chelsea may sign just one more forward or none at all. Chelsea value Garnacho at about 30 million, Meanwhile, Gianluigi Donnarumma is not a Chelsea target. Well, you'd like to think so. You'd like to think so. But I don't know why Newcastle haven't stepped up their interest in Jackson if they want him. I'm not sure if Jackson is top of Newcastle's list of interest. I don't know if he is, guys. I don't know if Nicholas Jackson is top of that list or not. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. I don't know. Yeah, he probably will. He probably will. The thing is, United are in a difficult position because they need Garnacho gone. And so they will have to accept less than the valuation. They will have to accept less than their valuation, chat. You know. I mean, look, he's a name that's been mentioned. I don't see really the interest there. I don't see the interest there. Bro, the only reason Jackson trained alone before the games against Leverkusen and Milan because he wasn't part of the squad. He's suspended for the game tomorrow. He's been training with the team. Let me read it now. Nicholas Jackson is not with the bomb squad, confirmed by Enzo Maresca. He trained individually over the weekend while missing the friendlies with Leverkusen and Milan, but has since returned to working with the Chelsea first team. He can leave, but he could stay. It couldn't be clearer. It couldn't be clearer. Yeah, bro, I rather would as well. Bro, Ramsey's gone to Newcastle. That's done. That deal's done. Jacob Ramsey has gone to Newcastle. Tossin's not gone. He's injured. He's going to be missing this game. Bro, again, Jackson to Villa will only happen if Ollie Watkins leaves. And right now, that's not looking likely at all. No, I'm not in denial. I'm not in denial at all. All I'm saying is that until any bids come in, Jackson's not going anywhere. And then it depends who the bid's from, and it depends whether it meets Chelsea's standards. You know, he's not been in the bomb squad or anything like that. He is training with the first team. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. But yeah, look, I've got, I don't know. It seems that my sort of thoughts and feelings seems to change on this most days, chat. Thoughts and feelings seem to change on it most days in terms of how many deals I think we're going to get done between now and the end of the window. Thoughts and feelings definitely change. Yeah, Villa have signed Evan Gesson from Lille. So they got Gesson and Ollie Watkins. Villa would only sign Nico Jackson if a forward leaves. And right now, it doesn't look like Ollie Watkins is going to leave. It does not look like Ollie Watkins is going to leave Aston Villa. Yeah, look, I look, if we're looking at this objectively, I think this is potentially, look, absolutely all three could leave. I think this is the most likely scenario. That Nkunku and George go, Simons comes in, and Jackson ends up staying. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. But I don't know why Newcastle will be waiting. If Newcastle definitely wanted Jackson, why are they waiting so long to bid? Why are they waiting so long to bid? That would be the question that I'd be asking, chat. Why are they waiting so long to submit a bid? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make a sense. It doesn't make any sense why they're waiting this long. 0 cents. You know. No, the board have backed Maresca this summer, absolutely. But we need more. We need more. The board have backed Maresca this summer, but we do need more. Yeah, and I think look, Jackson is an option for Newcastle, and he will be obviously part of their thinking. But I also believe that he's not their first choice. He's not top of their list of thoughts, chat. He's not top of their list of thoughts at all. You know, but again, beggars can't be choosers in the market, chat. Beggars absolutely can't be choosers in the market. And that is an issue. That is absolutely an issue. And so whilst Newcastle might not want Jackson, they might not have much choice because they need a striker. And there's not many available. Yeah, he said there's an unnamed Premier League club that's also quite keen. Who that is, I don't know. Whether they step forward and show their hand, I also don't know. What I do know is, chat, is that we're still 20 likes away from 100. So please keep smashing up the like button. It's free and it takes seconds to do. So please do run it up. I know, because Spurs have already been mentioned. Spurs have already been mentioned between Jackson before. West Ham, I've got no idea. But no, Villa have already been mentioned as well. It's someone that's not been mentioned. It's someone that's not been mentioned. Yeah, Xavi Simons did play very well today. He did play very well today, chap. That is absolutely clear. Played very well. Bro, Brentford couldn't afford Jackson. No way. Brentford absolutely couldn't afford Jackson. No chance. Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance, chat. They've already bought in Atara from Bournemouth with some of that money. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree on that. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious. It couldn't be more obvious that that's what we should be looking to do. So that's kind of the latest on the attacking situation. In terms of Christopher Nkunku, guys. In terms of Christopher Nkunku, Bayern are in talks. FC Bayern and Chelsea remain in talks over a potential deal for Christopher Nkunku. There is still work to be done, and it remains uncertain whether a deal will go through. However, personal terms are not an issue. Nkunku is keen to join Bayern. The key factor is an agreement between the clubs and finding the right structure for the deal. It's understood that Chelsea are currently expecting 40 million plus add-ons. So Chelsea are looking for probably 35 million plus add-ons. So I reckon they're looking for about 40 million for Nkunku, chat. I think we're looking for about 40 million for Christopher Nkunku, which I think is pretty fair. I think it's pretty fair. I think it's pretty fair. I think this deal in Nkunku to Bayern will happen, chat. I'm pretty sure in Nkunku to Bayern will happen, but we just got to wait. We've just got to wait, chat. We've got to wait. German league, I think it starts this weekend. It doesn't start this weekend. It starts next weekend. It starts next weekend, the German league. Next weekend, the Bundesliga kicks off. So yeah, we're looking for 35 million plus add-ons for Nkunku. I think that's a price that we'll get. I think that's absolutely a price that we'll get. 100%. And we just need it to happen quickly. We just need to accelerate this. We need to accelerate it, chat. We desperately need to accelerate it. And hopefully in the next few days, maybe next week, we will get some sort of an update on it, because Xavi Simons is not going to wait forever. He's not going to wait forever for us. I imagine that will either be a front of shirt sponsor or it will be the third kit. I doubt it's a player. I doubt it's a player, and all that's been able to be kept under wraps. I doubt it's a player. For me personally, it'll be the new front of shirt sponsor, or it will be the third kit announcement. No, I don't think we will. But I think, look, next week, the start of next week is going to be key to this. The start of next week is going to be absolutely key to all of this, chat. It's going to be absolutely key. I don't know if Simons is getting fed up waiting for Chelsea or not. I've got no idea. But yeah, the start of next week is going to be key, because this Nkunku deal is basically, this is what's holding up Xavi Simons coming to Chelsea. This is exactly what is holding up Simons coming to Chelsea, is the fact that Christopher Nkunku has not left the football club. I mean, I don't know for certain, but you would imagine that it would be Simons to come in first. Because otherwise, why would we have gone to all this effort with Simons? Why would we have gone to all this effort with Simons? It literally wouldn't make any sense, would it? It wouldn't make any sense at all to go to all that effort with Simons. So you would expect it. Logic says Simons, but you actually have got no idea. It equally wouldn't be a surprise if it was Garnacho. It wouldn't be a surprise if it was Garnacho, chat. It really wouldn't be a surprise if it was Garnacho. 1-0 City, Haaland, not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all, chat. But yeah, we don't want all these deals going to the final week of the window. That is the last thing that we're wanting, chat. The last thing we're wanting. The last thing. So let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, look, it won't be happening. It absolutely won't be happening. But yeah, obviously it would be funny. It would be funny. Yep, Champions League draw not far away. Couple weeks, 10 days or so. 10 days or so, chat. Champions League draw settings. Champions League draw settings, guys. 10 days. 10 days, chat. But yeah, in Nkunku, the situation's clear. We want permanent. We're waiting for the solution now. We are waiting for the solution. Bro, there won't be a best 11 this season. There'll be the core group that start most of the games, and then selection will be based on the opposition. That's what we're going to be doing this year. Having all those options is key. There won't be a best 11. There'll be your spine that starts most weeks, but there won't be a best 11. And I actually don't think that's a bad thing, because the team will be picked based on form, and it will be picked based on the opposition that we're playing. And that, for me, is the way that it should be. That is absolutely, chat, the way that it should be. No doubt about it in my mind. That is the way it should be, guys. Absolutely the way it should be. Yeah, I'll watch the Champions League draw on the 28th. I imagine, well, depending on what day the 28th is, I imagine we will do a live stream for the Champions League draw. Absolutely. August 28th, we will be there. Live stream Champions League draw. For sure, guys. It's a Thursday. Perfect. We will be there. If they decide to go for Garnacho before Simons, if I was Simons, I would be pissed off with that. I would be pissed off with that if I'm Simons. Wouldn't be happy about it at all. So yeah, we need to see. We need to see, guys. We absolutely need to see. Chat, we're still 13 likes away from 100. It's been slow today. It's been really slow on the likes. Tosin injury is a precaution. It's a precaution. Nothing more than that. That's what's being reported. Yeah, I think if they did do that, Simons would be pissed and would rightfully be like, "Yeah, I'm done with this." I could legit see that being the case. Could absolutely see that being the case for sure, for sure. See that being the case, chat. I really could. But hopefully that's not the case. I just don't understand why you would go to all that effort for Simons to then just sack the deal off. You know, why would you do that? Why would you do that, chat? Makes no sense. I'm telling you, makes absolutely zero sense. Centre back against Palace will be Acheampong and Chalobah. That's it. This is the question that we all want the answer to. And I don't have the answer to that question. I'm hoping it's a yes, but we'll find out in 2 weeks. But I would imagine that Chelsea have told Simons, wait for us. We need to sell Nkunku, and then we're coming for you. That's what we're looking for. Nah, bro, it won't be Hato at the back. He'll play Acheampong and Travis centre halves. I'd be shocked if Jarell Hato was at centre back. I would be shocked if Hato was at centre back tomorrow. I really would. I really would. I really would be surprised, guys. But, you know, you should always expect the unexpected at Chelsea. You should always expect the unexpected because you just cannot predict what's going to happen at this football club. You cannot predict it. And that's why we love it to a certain degree. But yeah. That's why we love it, Jack, because anything is possible. Anything is possible. Bro, Hincape's not on the list. Antonio Silva's been spoken about before, but Hincape, I can tell you now, is not on the list. There was a report suggesting that Chelsea were interested in Hincape. That's subsequently been shown to be not true. And yeah, it's not true. I mean, he's been backed. He has been backed this summer. But in terms of this centre-back issue, again, depending on what options are in the market, depending on what players Maresca might like or what players they might have identified, you know, we have to do what we can. So we see. And look, Josh will play tomorrow. Josh will play tomorrow with Chalobah. And let's see how they do. Obviously, Eze's not expected to be in the squad. Eze's not expected to be in the squad. Yeah, and he wants to lead it from the back line. And he wants someone that's going to play that central centre-back role. I mean, this really shouldn't be too hard to understand, chat. This shouldn't be too hard to understand. He wants someone for the central centre-back role. That's what he's looking for. In terms of my predictions, I think it'll be a 2-1 win to Chelsea. This will be a tough game. The fact that Eze is not expected to be in the squad, bro, Badiashiel's injured until September. The fact that Eze is not going to play is a big bonus for us. That should help us out massively, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. You know, they've got players like Ismail Assar, Wharton. You know, they've got a good team. They've got a good team, Crystal Palace. Their confidence is high. 2 trophies in the bag in the last few months in terms of the FA Cup and the Community Shield. They're a difficult side, so we're going to have to be at our absolute best. We didn't beat them last season. 2 draws. We weren't able to beat them in either game last season. It's going to be a tough one, but I think we've got enough quality to prevail. I do believe we've got enough quality to prevail, and I'm backing us to get a narrow 2-1 win. João Pedro and Cole Palmer with the goals. That is my prediction. João Pedro and Cole Palmer with the goals, chat. Guys, let me know your goal scorers as well. Let me know your goal scorers. Let me know your goal scorers, chat. This is it. This is what people don't realise, guys. There are no easy games in the Premier League. 0 easy games in the Premier League. You know, and this is it. If you're just 1% off in the Premier League, it's curtains. it's curtains. If you're just 1% off, that can't happen, guys. Bro, you're completely misunderstanding the point here. It's not about not having enough centre-backs. There isn't anyone that plays central centre-back. It's Colwell and then it's Tosin. They're both injured now, and Tosin can't play every single game at central centre-back. And the other solutions aren't good enough to play central centre-back. This is why he wants another centre-back. It's not a lack of numbers. It's a lack of quality in the central centre-back area. Anselmino is not ready. Anselmino is not ready. You know, this is I just don't get it. Anselmino is not ready. Chat, bear with me 2 seconds. Oh, bro, I don't care who scores. No, Gurhi's not out tomorrow. I've not seen anything saying that Mark Gurhi's missing. Eze, yes, but I've seen nothing suggesting that Mark Gurhi is missing. Nothing suggesting that Mark Gurhi's missing, guys. Nothing at all. Bro, no one's making excuses. It's just the reality of the situation. For his tactics and for how he wants to play, the central centre-back is so important. So important. And Colwell plays it the best. Tosin is the other central centre-back in the squad, nowhere near as good as Colwell. He can't play every single game. He's already injured, missing the Palace game tomorrow. This is the point, chat. It is a quality issue. A quality issue, guys. Not a numbers issue, a quality issue. And this is what I don't understand. Why are people not understanding this? You know? Bro, how often has Anselmino played in pre-season? Like one sub-appearance against Leverkusen late on. Did he play in the Club World Cup? Maybe one game. Bro, if Maresca was going to use Anselmino, he would have been used way more. The plan with Anselmino is to loan him out. The plan is to loan him out. So Vega and Disasi, done. Forget about them. Okay. You've got Badiashile and Fofana. You've got Tosin, Chalobah, and Josh. You've got 5 because Colwell's out. So you've got 5 centre-backs, right? Looking for one more. Josh could well leave. 5 centre-backs in it for a season is 5 centre-backs for a season. Is that ridiculous? I don't think having 5 options at centre-back is ridiculous at all. 5 options at centre-back, in my view, is not ridiculous at all. Not ridiculous at all, chat. Exactly. If we had no Europe, that's a different question. If there was no Europe, I'd hear it a bit more. But with Champions League, injuries, suspensions, a bit of rotation, well, that's all we're going to need. That's all we're going to need. That's exactly what we're going to need, guys. You know? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We just need to start the season with 3 points. Nothing more, nothing less. Chat, we're still 8 likes away from 100 likes. How have we still not reached 100 likes, guys? What is going on here? 8 likes to go. Please smash up the like button and subscribe if you're new around here. We've got to get these final few likes boxed off, chat. I would agree on that as well. And I've maintained that stance throughout. Nizar tweet. Let's have a look. Plots thickens as the most natural centre-back replacement tactically. Tosin withdraws from selection against Palace tomorrow. It's just a niggle and precautionary. He will be important for Maresca, especially if Chelsea stick to their guns with their current options. Tosin is so important if we don't sign anyone else, because he's the only guy that can play central centre-back in the squad right now. The only one. So he becomes very, very important. He becomes very, very important, chat. So important to what we're looking to do next season. And I just think we're just taking such big gambles, guys. Such big gambles we're taking. Such big gambles. Look, Tosin was good last season. And I've got no issue with him at all playing games. Yes, Chalobah is not going to play central centre-back week in, week out. He's not. Chalobah is very, very good. I'm a massive fan of Chalobah. But let's not pretend he's playing central centre-back week in, week out, because he's not. I like Tosin, but him starting every single week is not going to be ideal for us. It's not going to be ideal. And he's not going to be able to start every single week either. This is what people are not understanding. He is not going to be able to start every single week. He simply isn't. No, the PSR is fine. The PSR is fine. I don't think we've got any PSR issues, chat. I don't think we've got any PSR issues. Bro, again, you're missing the point. It's the central centre-back role. It's the central centre-back role which is key. Absolutely key, and which people are completely missing the point on. Completely missing the point, chat. But yeah, obviously, yeah, it's not ideal, guys. It's not ideal that we're going to be without these players. Not ideal whatsoever. Yeah, it's more of a UEFA issue. If you disagree, that's fine. If you think that there's players in the squad that are capable of playing that central centre-back role to the required standard, then that's fair enough. That's your opinion. I don't agree, and I don't see how anyone can think that those players can play to the required standard at central centre-back. You know, I just don't see it. Tosin is missing the game tomorrow. Yes, Tosin will miss the game tomorrow. And yeah, it's going to be difficult for us, chat. It's going to be difficult for us. It'll be Acheampong and Chalobah. That will be the partnership tomorrow. Acheampong and Chalobah, chat. Look, Josh can play centre-back, but I agree. I think he's a better right-back than he is a centre-back. I think he's a better right-back than he is a centre-back. 100%. But we see. Bro, if you think he can do that for a whole season, then I think there's a lot of delusion at stake, going on here. Serious levels of delusion in my mind if people think that Acheampong can play central centre-back all season for us. I think they're massively deluded. Yes, because he didn't want them. João Felix wasn't a Maresca signing. We all know that. Vega wanted to leave in January. So those are the two that you're referring to. Then your point is you've just literally, your point is not making sense. I don't see Fofana going straight back in. No, I'm not at all. We're just having a constructive debate about things. Not at all. I just disagree with the fact that people think we don't need another centre back. No issues for me. No issues for me. No issues for me, chat. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. By the way, it's not fully confirmed. We're not, yes, and he has developed players. He's developed a lot of players and loads of players have improved under him. But the fact is that there's been no preparation to prepare Josh to play central centre-back because, funnily enough, Colwell getting injured and missing the whole season wasn't part of the plans. So the time to train Acheampong to be a central centre-back, there is no time. There is no time. No, he won't do Hato. He won't do Hato tomorrow. I'd be very, very surprised if he did Hato tomorrow. I cannot see him starting Jarell Hato tomorrow at centre-back. So yeah, that's my thoughts, chat. But I just think if we're going for a title next season, which we should be aiming for, then the defensive options as they aren't good enough and aren't enough. That's just the reality. That's just the reality, chat, if we're going for a title. James is not going to play central centre-back either. You know, he's just not, chat. You know, he's just not. Yeah, it's a big season for James as well in terms of staying fit. Massive season. So, yeah. Massive season for Josh. Yeah, exactly. Hayter's not even made his Premier League debut, and people are saying chuck him in at centre back, which is not even his best position. I mean, guys, we've got to have. So yeah, I mean that's where we're at, chat. That is where we're at. But guys, we're not really going to play wing backs tomorrow. Guys, I am going to round this one out here. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Appreciate the Premier League's back, and people are probably doing other things on a Saturday. Probably not the best time for me to have done this show. Numbers not as good as usual, but still, I appreciate every single person who has tuned in this afternoon. I'll be back tomorrow post Crystal Palace game. Post Crystal Palace game tomorrow. Let's hope we get the 3 points. Let's hope we get the win. Yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Enjoy the game tomorrow if you're going. Enjoy the game if you're watching it. Let's hope we bring the 3 points home. Get the season off to a really good start. Anyway, guys, please smash your likes on the way out. Subscribe if you're new around here. Big up to everyone. It's all love. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.